Dreams are the small hidden door in the deepest and most intimate sanctuary of the soul. This profound observation by Carl Jung invites us to pause, to look inward, and to consider a realm of experience that is both universally shared and intensely personal. Every night, as the world outside recedes into silence, our minds embark on journeys through landscapes both familiar and utterly alien. We traverse impossible topographies, encounter figures from our past and future, and experience emotions that can be as vivid and potent as anything felt in our waking hours. Yet upon awakening, these intricate narratives often dissolve into fleeting fragments, leaving behind a faint echo of wonder, confusion, or sometimes a deep, unsettling resonance. How often do we awaken from a dream, a particular image or sensation clinging to our consciousness, only to have it slip through our fingers like fine sand? A sense of urgency, a sudden fear, an inexplicable joy, all born from a narrative that defies the logic of our daytime world. We might dismiss it as just a dream, a random firing of neurons, a byproduct of our brain processing the day's events. But what if this dismissal overlooks a profound and continuous conversation happening within us? A dialogue conducted in a language we have largely forgotten how to speak, let alone understand. Consider for a moment the sheer complexity and emotional weight of some of your most memorable dreams. Perhaps you've flown with effortless grace or found yourself lost in an endless maze. Maybe you've confronted a shadowy figure or embraced a long-lost loved one. These experiences, though intangible, often leave an impression that lingers, sometimes for days, subtly influencing our mood, our thoughts, our very perception of reality. It's as if a part of us operating beneath the surface of our conscious awareness is attempting to communicate something vital, something that our rational mind struggles to grasp directly. The problem, then, is not the absence of messages, but our inability to decipher them. We are, in essence, receiving postcards from an inner continent, postcards filled with symbols, metaphors, and allegories, written in a script that predates our formal education. This inner realm, often called the unconscious, is not a void, but a vast reservoir of memories, instincts, fears, and aspirations. It is a place where the seeds of our deepest potentials and our most stubborn resistances reside, often hidden from our direct gaze. And it is through the nightly theater of dreams that this hidden self often chooses to reveal itself, offering glimpses into truths that our conscious ego might prefer to ignore or simply cannot access. The unique angle we wish to explore is precisely this: the idea that dreams possess a language, not a literal spoken tongue, but a symbolic lexicon, a grammar of images and feelings designed to convey insights about our true nature, our relationships, and our path in life. If we accept this premise, then the act of dreaming transforms from a passive nocturnal experience into an active, meaningful exchange. It becomes an invitation to engage with a deeper layer of ourselves, to learn to read the cryptic poetry of the soul. This journey into the language of dreams is not about finding definitive answers in a dream dictionary, nor is it about predicting the future. Instead, it is an exploration into the very architecture of our inner world, a quest to understand the subtle prompts and profound wisdom that emerge when the constraints of logic and linear time are momentarily suspended. It is an invitation to acknowledge that the stories we tell ourselves while awake are only part of the truth, and that another, perhaps more fundamental narrative unfolds within us each night. What if by learning this ancient language, we could unlock a deeper understanding of who we are, what truly moves us, and where our authentic self truly lies? This is the question that beckons us into the quiet mystery of the dreaming mind. To truly engage with the messages embedded within our nocturnal visions, we must first grasp the distinct nature of the language in which they are conveyed. This is not a language of explicit statements or logical propositions as we employ in our waking discourse. Rather, it is fundamentally a language of symbolism, operating through a rich tapestry of images, metaphors, and sensory experiences. Imagine attempting to communicate the profound truth of a sunset not through words like beautiful or serene, but by painting a vibrant canvas of colors, brushstrokes, and light that evoke the very feeling of that moment. Dreams operate similarly, constructing intricate narratives whose essence lies not in their literal events but in their evocative power. Furthermore, these symbols rarely possess a singular, fixed meaning. Instead, they are often multi-layered, drawing from our personal history, our cultural conditioning, and indeed from universal human experience. A house in a dream, for instance, might represent your actual home, your sense of self, your body, or even the structure of your psyche, depending on its condition, location, and the emotions it evokes. This fluidity is a hallmark of dream language, demanding a flexible, intuitive approach to understanding rather than a rigid, one-to-one translation. It invites us to consider the context, the feeling, and the personal associations that each symbol holds for you, the dreamer. Another crucial layer to this nocturnal communication is the profound role of emotion. In the waking world, emotions often accompany our thoughts. In dreams, they frequently are the message. The feeling of dread, exhilaration, helplessness, or boundless joy within a dream is not merely an incidental byproduct of the narrative. It is often the core insight that the unconscious is striving to impart. Consequently, when you recall a dream, paying close attention to the dominant emotional tone can be more revealing than meticulously recounting every detail of the plot. The fear of falling, for example, might be less about the act of falling itself and more about an underlying anxiety concerning loss of control or stability in your waking life. Beyond mere imagery and emotion, the language of dreams also possesses its own peculiar grammar and syntax. It frequently employs condensation, where multiple ideas or figures are merged into a single image; displacement, where emotional intensity is shifted from one object to another; and dramatic exaggeration, where subtle anxieties or desires are amplified into vivid, often surreal scenarios. This nonlinear associative logic stands in stark contrast to our conscious mind's preference for sequential order and rational explanation. The dream doesn't argue a point. It presents a dynamic, often visceral tableau designed to bypass our intellectual defenses and speak directly to a deeper, more receptive part of ourselves. Consider, too, the purpose behind this indirect form of communication. Why doesn't the unconscious simply tell us what it wants us to know? One perspective suggests that certain truths are too complex, too raw, or too deeply repressed for direct conscious apprehension. The symbolic language of dreams acts as a protective buffer, allowing these challenging insights to emerge gradually, cloaked in metaphor, making them more palatable and easier for the ego to integrate over time. It's akin to receiving a coded message that, while initially perplexing, offers the opportunity for profound self-discovery upon patient decryption. The very act of wrestling with a dream's meaning can be a transformative process in itself, fostering a more intimate relationship with our inner landscape. Therefore, understanding the language of dreams means recognizing it as a unique system of communication, distinct from our waking verbal exchanges. It is a tapestry woven from personal and universal symbols, imbued with potent emotional resonance, and structured by an associative logic that prioritizes meaning over literal representation. It is a sophisticated, often poetic dialogue, initiated by the deepest parts of ourselves, offering continuous guidance and insight. This understanding lays the groundwork for approaching our dreams not as random noise, but as carefully constructed messages awaiting our thoughtful engagement. Having established the foundational idea that dreams communicate through a unique symbolic lexicon, we now turn our attention to the varied intellectual landscapes where thinkers have endeavored to map this mysterious terrain. Across centuries and cultures, humanity has grappled with the ephemeral nature of dreams, seeking to systematize their understanding, to find a key that unlocks their cryptic wisdom. This quest has given rise to remarkably diverse perspectives, each offering a distinct lens through which to decode the nighttime narratives, demonstrating that the language of dreams is not a monolithic entity, but rather a rich dialect, interpreted through various philosophical and psychological frameworks. Perhaps no figure looms larger in the modern Western understanding of dreams than Sigmund Freud, whose groundbreaking work posited dreams as the royal road to the unconscious. For Freud, dreams were not merely random mental debris, but meticulously constructed messages, albeit disguised ones. He theorized that the primary function of dreaming was wish fulfillment, a means for our unconscious desires, often those deemed unacceptable or threatening by our conscious mind, to find expression. He distinguished between the manifest content of a dream, which is the storyline we remember upon waking, and the latent content, the true, hidden meaning. The transformation from latent to manifest content, he argued, was achieved through dream work, Mechanisms such as condensation, combining multiple ideas into one image, displacement, shifting emotional intensity from one object to another, and secondary revision, the mind's attempt to make the dream more coherent during recall. Consequently, for Freud, interpreting a dream involved meticulously peeling back these layers of disguise, unraveling the symbolic veils to reveal the underlying, often repressed impulses, particularly those of a sexual or aggressive nature, that sought gratification. His approach fundamentally shifted the focus from external omens to internal psychological dynamics. In stark contrast, though building upon some of Freud's initial insights, Carl Jung proposed a profoundly different understanding of the dreaming mind. While acknowledging the personal unconscious and its repressed content, Jung emphasized the existence of a collective unconscious, a deeper, transpersonal layer shared by all humanity, containing universal patterns and primordial images he termed archetypes. For Jung, dreams were not merely a means to express repressed wishes, but rather a compensatory function of the psyche, striving to restore balance by highlighting aspects of the personality or life situation that the conscious mind was neglecting or suppressing. A dream in this view might present an image of weakness to a consciously arrogant individual, or an image of strength to someone feeling inadequate. Furthermore, Jung saw dreams as possessing a prospective function, meaning they could offer guidance and insights for future growth and the process of individuation, the journey towards becoming a whole and integrated self. Dream symbols for Jung were not just disguises for repressed urges, but living expressions of the psyche's innate drive towards wholeness, drawing from a vast reservoir of universal human experience, resonating with myths, religions, and folklore. Beyond these foundational psychoanalytic perspectives, other schools of thought have offered equally compelling, albeit different lenses, through which to view the dream narrative. Consider, for instance, the Gestalt approach to dream work, championed by Fritz Perls. This method moves away from the analyst's interpretation, instead encouraging the dreamer to re-own and re-experience their dream elements. In Gestalt therapy, every person, object, or even landscape within a dream is seen as a projection of the self. The dreamer is encouraged to become each part of the dream, to speak as the menacing monster, to feel as the crumbling house, to express the frustration of the endless road. This direct experiential engagement aims to integrate fragmented aspects of the personality, bringing unconscious material into conscious awareness not through intellectual analysis but through embodied experience. This contrasts sharply with the Freudian emphasis on decoding and the Jungian focus on archetypal patterns, instead prioritizing a visceral, immediate connection to the dream's components as living parts of the self. Moreover, ancient traditions, long before the advent of modern psychology, often viewed dreams as direct communications from divine entities, or as portals to spiritual realms. In many indigenous cultures, shamans and elders are revered for their ability to interpret dreams, which are seen as guides for community decisions, healing practices, or spiritual journeys. These interpretations are often deeply embedded in the cultural mythology and cosmology, reflecting a communal understanding of symbols rather than purely individual psychological dynamics. This perspective, while perhaps less scientific in a Western sense, underscores a profound, enduring human belief in the inherent meaning and power of dreams, viewing them as a conduit to a reality beyond the immediate sensory world. Each of these diverse perspectives, from the deeply personal Freudian lens to the universal Jungian archetypes, and from the experiential Gestalt method to the spiritual insights of ancient traditions, enriches our understanding of how the intricate language of dreams has been, and continues to be, deciphered across the vast tapestry of human thought. Having explored the intricate ways dreams communicate, we now shift our focus to the tangible impact these nocturnal narratives can exert on our waking existence. How do the insights gleaned from our inner theater translate into practical wisdom, shaping our decisions, illuminating our relationships, and even spurring our creativity? The application of dream-derived understanding is not about foretelling the future or seeking simplistic answers. Rather, it involves cultivating a deeper attunement to our inner compass, allowing the subtle guidance from the unconscious to inform and enrich the conscious choices we make each day. Consider, for instance, the realm of significant life choices. Perhaps you stand at a crossroads, contemplating a career change, a move to a new city, or the deepening of a personal commitment. Your conscious mind might be weighing pros and cons, assembling data, and seeking external advice. However, a series of vivid dreams might consistently present themes of entrapment and stagnation in relation to one path, or conversely, images of liberation and expansion concerning another. These dream sequences, rather than providing a direct command, function as powerful emotional amplifiers, highlighting an underlying resonance or dissonance that your rational mind might be overlooking. They can serve as an intuitive nudge, a visceral confirmation of what your deepest self already knows but has not yet articulated. Integrating this nuanced feedback can lead to decisions that feel more authentic, more aligned with your fundamental aspirations, even if they initially appear counterintuitive to purely logical reasoning. Furthermore, the language of dreams often offers profound clarity regarding the dynamics of our interpersonal relationships. We often navigate our connections with others through a lens of conscious expectations, social conventions, and self-protective mechanisms. Yet beneath this surface, unacknowledged resentments, unmet needs, or suppressed affections can simmer, subtly influencing our interactions. A dream, featuring a strained encounter with a loved one, where words are unspoken or gestures are misunderstood, might underscore a real-world communication breakdown you've been consciously downplaying. Conversely, a dream of profound connection and effortless understanding with someone might reveal a deeper bond or a shared purpose that your waking mind has yet to fully appreciate. By reflecting on these dream narratives, we gain a unique vantage point, a kind of emotional X-ray that allows us to approach our relationships with heightened awareness, fostering greater empathy, initiating necessary conversations, or even recognizing when a connection has truly run its course. Beyond personal and relational insights, dreams frequently act as powerful catalysts for creative breakthroughs and problem-solving. Many artists, scientists, and innovators have credited their most profound discoveries to insights that emerge from their sleep. When the conscious mind, with its linear constraints, is at rest, the unconscious mind is free to make novel associations, connect disparate ideas, and explore possibilities unburdened by conventional logic. A complex challenge that seems insurmountable during the day might find an elegant, unexpected solution presented in a dream. The mind, in its nocturnal state, often bypasses the mental blocks that impede progress, offering fresh perspectives or entirely new conceptual frameworks. Engaging with these dream-inspired solutions requires a willingness to suspend disbelief and explore the unconventional, often leading to innovative paths that would otherwise remain hidden. Indeed, even our physical well-being can find subtle reflection in the imagery of our dreams. While not a diagnostic tool, recurring dream motifs involving specific bodily sensations, compromised structures, or the struggle against an unseen force might signify an underlying physical tension or a nascent health concern that our conscious awareness has not yet fully registered. The body and mind are intrinsically linked, and the dreamscape often serves as a sensitive barometer for our holistic state. A persistent dream of feeling weighed down, for instance, could correlate with chronic fatigue or unaddressed stress, prompting us to consider self-care practices we might otherwise neglect. Conversely, dreams of vibrant health and effortless movement can affirm a path of wellness. By paying attention to these bodily echoes in our dreams, we cultivate a more holistic self-awareness, enabling us to respond to our physical needs with greater proactive intention. In essence, the language of dreams, when thoughtfully engaged, transforms from a mere nocturnal curiosity into a potent tool for navigating the complexities of our waking lives with greater insight, authenticity, and resilience. Reflecting on this journey through the shadowed corridors of the mind, we begin to perceive a profound shift in our relationship with the nocturnal realm. What initially might have seemed like fleeting, amorphous sequences now reveals itself as an intricate, deeply personal tapestry, woven from the very fabric of our being. The scattered embers of memory and emotion, once dismissed as mere residue of the day, coalesce into a vibrant, dynamic inner current, flowing with a purpose often obscured by the clamor of our waking lives. This recognition transforms the act of remembering a dream from a simple recall into a nuanced act of listening, an opening to a dialogue that has been patiently awaiting our attention. Drawing these intricate strands together, we discern that the true power of this inner communication lies not in its ability to dictate, but in its capacity to illuminate. It's as if a hidden cartographer within us is constantly sketching maps of our emotional terrain, highlighting uncharted territories, forgotten paths, and potential pitfalls. These maps, rendered in a vernacular of image and feeling, beckon us to explore the deeper currents of our motivations and fears, often revealing the subtle interplay between our conscious aspirations and the underlying forces that truly drive us. The panorama of insights we've traversed suggests that this internal lexicon is more than a mere echo. It is an active participant in our ongoing evolution, a silent mentor guiding us toward a more integrated self. In light of these considerations, the path forward becomes less about seeking definitive answers and more about cultivating a profound curiosity for the questions that arise from within. We are invited to move beyond the superficial narrative, to linger with the resonance of a particular image or the lingering echo of an emotion, allowing its deeper significance to unfurl organically. This patient engagement with our inner landscape is akin to learning an ancient sacred language, one not found in textbooks, but in the quiet chambers of our own experience. It demands a willingness to suspend judgment, to embrace paradox, and to trust that meaning resides not always in immediate clarity, but in the unfolding process of contemplation itself. This profound engagement beckons us to examine the very foundations of our conscious experience. If our inner world is constantly constructing such elaborate narratives, what does this imply about the nature of truth, perception, and the self? It suggests that the boundaries we often draw between what is real and what is imagined are far more permeable than we typically acknowledge. The insights gleaned from our nocturnal voyages are not simply abstract philosophical concepts. They are living, breathing impulses that shape our responses to the world, influencing the choices we make, the relationships we forge, and the narratives we construct about our own lives. They are the whispers of a deeper wisdom, gently urging us toward greater authenticity and self-awareness. Moving beyond mere observation, this exploration compels us to consider how we might actively foster this connection. It's about more than just remembering. It's about interacting, questioning, and allowing these inner messages to inform our waking consciousness in a reciprocal dance. The true alchemy lies in bridging the chasm between the conscious and unconscious, allowing the symbolic wisdom of the night to infuse the practicalities of the day. This is a continuous process, a lifelong endeavor to understand the subtle promptings that arise from the wellspring of our being, transforming the act of dreaming into a profound practice of self-discovery. As we stand at this threshold, poised to delve deeper, the invitation is clear: to look inward, to listen intently, and to begin the personal work of deciphering the unique idiom of our own soul. Our exploration into the enigmatic realm of dreams has led us through a fascinating landscape of symbolic communication, psychological insight, and ancient wisdom. We began by acknowledging the profound truth in Jung's observation of dreams as a hidden door to the soul's deepest sanctuary, and through our journey, this door has revealed itself not as a static portal, but as a vibrant, constantly unfolding interface between our waking awareness and the vast, often unseen dimensions of our inner world. We have come to understand that the language of dreams is not a simple code to be broken, but a rich, multifaceted idiom, expressed through metaphor, emotion, and archetypal imagery, designed to speak directly to the core of our being, bypassing the filters of our rational mind. The true synthesis of our inquiry lies in recognizing that dreams are not merely nocturnal phenomena, but rather an integral, indispensable facet of human consciousness itself. They are a continuous personalized dialogue initiated by the unconscious, a tireless inner cartographer, perpetually sketching maps of our emotional terrain, highlighting our authentic needs, unacknowledged fears, and untapped potentials. This profound nonverbal communication serves as a perennial source of self-knowledge, a constant invitation to integrate the fragmented aspects of our identity and to live a life that is more aligned with our deepest, most genuine self. It suggests that within each of us resides an innate intelligence, a guiding wisdom that operates ceaselessly, offering counsel and perspective, even when our conscious mind is at rest. To engage with this inner language, then, is not merely an intellectual exercise, it is a profound act of self-care, a commitment to holistic awareness. It is about cultivating a receptive posture, a willingness to listen to the whispers of the soul that often speak in riddles and paradoxes. By honoring these messages, by allowing the symbolic narratives of the night to inform the decisions and perceptions of our day, we begin to weave a richer, more coherent tapestry of existence. We move beyond the superficial demands of the external world to touch upon the enduring truths that reside within, fostering a profound sense of inner harmony and purpose. This integration is not about passively accepting interpretations, but about actively participating in the co-creation of meaning, allowing the dream's essence to resonate and reveal its unique wisdom for our specific journey. The ultimate implication, therefore, is that the journey of understanding dreams is synonymous with the journey of understanding ourselves. It is a lifelong practice, a continuous process of becoming more fully human, more deeply attuned to the symphony of our own soul. Every image, every emotion, every fleeting sensation from our dreams offers a thread, inviting us to weave a more complete narrative of who we are and who we are becoming. It is a testament to the boundless creativity and resilience of the human spirit, an ever-present reminder that within the quietude of sleep, profound truths are being articulated, awaiting our mindful reception. So as we emerge from this shared reflection, let us carry forth not a set of rigid rules for interpretation, but a renewed sense of wonder and a heightened capacity for listening. The true practice begins now, in the quiet moments after waking, in the pause before the rush of the day consumes us. It begins in the gentle inquiry, what message sought to reach me last night? It is in this sustained, humble engagement with our inner landscape that we unlock the hidden doors, not just to our dreams, but to a life lived with greater awareness, deeper meaning, and an unwavering connection to the profound wisdom that resides within the innermost sanctuary of our very own soul. Let the silent language of your dreams become a trusted companion on your path towards self-discovery.